Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we are live here. It is the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God on Twitter. And of course, at Buffalo Sauce God on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my page on YouTube right now at Buffalo Sauce God, right? I have my link tree up everywhere you can find that. Subscribe right now because the first 500 subscribers are in a giveaway, right? They're entered into a giveaway for, I think I'm going to do some either signed memorabilia or a signed sports card. I just haven't decided yet which one we're going to do. So if you guys are just now tuning in, hit that like and share. Of course, I'm live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Normally, I am live Saturday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Built in Buffalo with the sit down. But this is my own page right now. I wanted to go over some, a little bit of not just Bill stuff, but some Sabres highlights. And then we're going to go into a little bit of the NFL news that transpired yesterday. So if you're watching on Twitter, hit that retweet button. And if you want to come and you want to comment on the video, just come on over to YouTube because you can't comment on Twitter for some reason. So come on over to the YouTube page. There's a link attached. Make sure to hit that subscribe button too, of course, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through some of these Sabres highlights. Sabres thing is that the Chiefs is better defense. The Bucs are always a matchup, and they score first here. Obviously, you see that. Back to West, being at New York, joining up, but they would respond, I believe, with 2 unanswered after this. Look at this. Yeah, see that's one of the weaknesses that their defense just struggles, right? So they're playing tougher hockey though. They got to get back to some like fun response from Victor Olofsson. Man, I'll tell you what, that kid is pretty solid too, right? Victor Olofsson, I like him. Sabres are at least exciting again. Off the rebound, coming off the knee pad, and just wow, last second. What like. Okay. Oops, I'm not even sure. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. About my fault. So let's come back here. The Blackhawks are at 1-0 at this point. The Victor Olofsson ties it off the rebound here, coming off the knee pad of the goalie, making the game 1-1 in the first period at that point. And Victor Olofsson, man, he's a great power play scorer. I just think the kid needs to find a level of like I think that and Chris Drew, those guys, night in and night out. So, but that was because they were a well-rounded team. It wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. It wasn't even just a goalie, but it was a collection of guys, right? So here we go. Coming to the end of the first period. I believe it's going to go in behind the net here. Yep. Comes back to the point. Nope. Keeps it in and takes the score to make the 1 point. Okay. So let's go forward here a little bit for Sabres at this point. Skip forward a little bit, guys, so we can get to some of the other takes that I have for sports news. Sabres are exciting. They are definitely exciting. They're definitely fun to watch again. They just got to finish games. So there we go. 3-1. There the Sabres are up. Starting the third period, right? 2-goal lead. Right, they're instantly pressuring the net, right? They score the puck right there. 3-2. All right. 3-3. We're in overtime. One of the things I just feel like 3-on-3 situations, and right there they gave me Johnson crosses in over to Jones. So let's talk about it for a moment. The Sabres, right? They're getting better. They're not quite where they want to be. I was just talking with my buddy Tyler about this last night. That they're like right there, right? But they don't have one or two pieces. One of them, I think, is goalie. The other one, I honestly think is a really good second line defenseman. I mean, you can't really just rely on Rasmus Dahlin to do everything for you. By the way, okay, trying to see if we can get this lag issue resolved. My fault, guys. If you're just now tuning in, hit that comment button, hit the like and share. Of course, this is the Sauce God. I am live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the comment button and join in on discussion. I just showed some of the highlights from the Sabres, a loss in overtime to the Blackhawks last night. So let's go on to some other topics of discussion here, right? So Byron Leftwich is fired. And I'm curious as to what anybody else thinks about this, because this is a tough topic, right? The Bucks offense struggled, right? How hobbled was that offensive line? How hobbled was their defense? And you're talking about a guy who just came out of retirement after being retired for like 2 minutes and is battling a divorce, losing his, family per se in the eyes of the public at least, right? And yet Byron Leftwich is the guy that we let go. Byron Leftwich didn't underthrow receivers in that loss to the Cowboys. Byron Leftwich didn't, put receivers here and then throw the football over there. No, Tom Brady did not execute because Tom Brady didn't look like he wanted to be there. Tom Brady looked like he was playing somewhere else, right? And I don't believe all these theories that he's going to go back to New England. I don't really read into that. I think you'd be crazy to choose to go back to New England after already showing you could leave there and have success and not having the receiving core that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do have with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, right? And to go back to the cold weather out of Florida, you know what I mean? Where right now I'm pretty sure he's getting paid very well. Taxes and everything is in his favor. And he's in Florida where most people go to retire, which is what we're hoping he does. But Byron Leftwich is the guy that got fired. Now, I think Byron Leftwich will easily be hired as head coach somewhere else or offensive coordinator somewhere else, because I thought that he did a really great job for 3 seasons with a guy who basically comes in and commands what is going to be done. What is the offense? What is the system? And that's what happens when Tom Brady comes to your football team. However, they did work well together in the eyes of the media and the spot and the public for the first season and a half, 2 seasons, right? But man, he's the scapegoat. Todd Bowles, he's not the guy that's that's let go. Tom Brady's not the guy that's cut. It's Byron Leftwich, right? Scapegoat. That's all it is to me. Do I think it's anything more than that? Nope. I really don't. I think Tom Brady either is going to retire or he's going to play somewhere else next year, and I just don't know where that would be. I don't see him playing for the Buccaneers again. It just doesn't make sense. Things didn't go well for a third year. I thought when he came out of retirement, it was like, why? Obviously, but not retiring after the first year with the Bucks, I understand that because you want to run it back. You've got a similar squad. Trying to repeat Super Bowls. I guess you could add that to the list of potential accolades for Tom Brady, right? So I guess I understand that. It just, again, didn't need to come out of it this time. Didn't have nearly the same team for the Buccaneers. Bruce Arians is now not the head coach anymore. You had all the stuff happen with Antonio Brown last year. There's just a lot of things. Injuries. Then you're bringing Julio Jones in, right? How much does he have left in the tank? So Byron Leftwich was fired. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised because I don't agree with the move. I don't think that he's the problem. But I know how the business of the NFL works and how scapegoats, how they work, right? There's always got to be a fall guy. And right now it's Byron Leftwich, which probably the best thing for this guy's career. Go somewhere else, have a chance to work with somebody, not Tom Brady, and really show exactly what you're made of, right? Titans are hiring former 49ers executive Ron Carthone. They did interview other candidates, such as one of the head scouts, I believe it was from the Buffalo Bills. But this is the next topic we're going to talk about, right? Because I don't care about the Titans front office. That's all relevant. But if you're just not tuning in, hit that retweet button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the follow button for my page at Buffalo Sauce God. Come on over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the comment button. And if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like and share and comment because, of course, it is Sauce running through some of the sports news from NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and anything big, right? The next one we're going to talk about is this. Aaron Rodgers comes out and says that he believes he can win MVP again in the quote-unquote right situation. Now, if you ask me what that means, I don't think that I always wondered when Devontae Adams got traded to Vegas, maybe if Derek Carr was a one-year experiment, you see if maybe you could get away with having Derek Carr, but maybe the plan was to bring in Aaron Rodgers because what are they doing in Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers doesn't look anything remotely close to himself. That team doesn't look anything remotely close to themselves. So I always figured Aaron Rodgers is going to go somewhere else. Now, during the offseason, I thought that they were going to go together, him and Devontae Adams, but he signs the big contract, getting massive payday, all guaranteed. I think it's $50 million a year or something like that. Devontae goes to the Raiders, gets paid. So maybe is it time for Aaron Rodgers to go somewhere else? Yeah, he's definitely not going to play in Green Bay anymore, and there's no future there. I figured if he does play in Green Bay at all for the remainder of his career, it's just because of the guaranteed money, and you might as well suck it up for a couple of years, no matter what the situation is. Collect the guaranteed money. Look at Deshaun Watson, 5 years, $250 million and some, right? So Aaron Rodgers, where would he go? Vegas? I mean, maybe. They really, what was Vegas's biggest problem? Was it always Derek Carr? I don't think so. I think it was a collection of things. Number one, you're undoing a year of dysfunction with the whole situation with John Gruden, Henry Ruggs, that whole ordeal, but still making the playoffs last year with Derek Carr, right? Then you're bringing in Chandler Jones. You're bringing in Devontae Adams. You're supposed to compete. You've got the Broncos coming in. They're supposed to compete. You're supposed to have this star-studded, packed AFC West, right? And it doesn't turn out that way. So now Denver's got their guy with Russell Wilson, or at least they have locked up their guy, even if he's not their guy. But Aaron Rodgers, does maybe he go to the the Las Vegas Raiders? Maybe to play in that division? I don't know, but I guess maybe that doesn't always factor into some of these guys' decisions. Do I see him going to Miami? No, I don't see them being able to afford that or make such a trade happen. Maybe. I mean, Tua would probably be a big sweetener for a lot of teams, but no, I think Derek Carr is probably going to see himself either cut or traded for some, I don't know, stupid picks or whatever. But Aaron Rodgers is more than likely going to play at least 1 or 2 more years of football, especially if he's saying he feels like he can still win the MVP award. And I still think he has stuff left in the tank. I don't even believe anything that I saw from them this year. You're also playing without your number one receiver, who is quite possibly top 3 in the NFL for the past 5 years. And now you've got Christian Watson as your mojo, right? Sammy Watkins, come on. Aaron Rodgers isn't done. And I mean, all this talk about the ayahuasca and all this last year just furthers my assumptions with it, right? Where does he play, though? Seattle? Doubt that. Don't see him staying, obviously, in the NFC North. Could you imagine if Kirk Cousins were gone off the Vikings and he played for the Vikings? I couldn't see that. Niners? But come on, dude. Like, they already have the Trey Lance situation, Brock Purdy, still with Jimmy G, too. He's not going to the Patriots. I couldn't see the Falcons. Maybe the Saints? Maybe he goes wherever the Sean Payton news goes, you know what I mean? Because I know Sean Payton's been talked about, too, in the news quite a bit lately. See if I can find some updates on that, too. But I don't know. He's definitely not playing for Green Bay next season. So if you see this, comment who you think that he is going to play for, if he is going to play, if he's going to retire, if he'll stay with Green Bay, what you guys think. Let me know. Of course, you're live here with the Buffalo Sauce God. At Buffalo Sauce God, they call me Sauce God in the Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia coverage Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Built in Buffalo Network. And the sit down live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter in partnership with Underdog Fantasy and in partnership with Duff's Famous Wings. Of course, this episode of Sauce Network, the Game Book podcast, whatever you want to call it, is in partnership with Duff's Famous Wings and Underdog Fantasy as well. And if you want a promo code for a deposit match to get in on the Underdog Fantasy action, which, by the way, you have to only be 18 or older in one of 40 plus states, okay? Right? Bet and play at your own risk. But a promo code for a deposit match, 100% deposit match up to $100. Anywhere from $10 to $100, you put this promo code, BIB. That stands for Built in Buffalo. BIB will get you a 100% match. You put $100 in there, you use this promo code, you're going to get $100 of free play as well. You put $10 and use this code, you're going to get $10 extra free play. So why? Hey, $10 in the account today for some action, daily fantasy and pick'ems. Make it 20, right? 100, make it 200. Of course, getting on the action. If you hit any sort of 4 or 5 leg pick'em ticket, make sure to screenshot it, send the results over to myself or my co-host Mafia Montage at Mafia Montage for the sit down. Send those results over to either one of us to be entered into a giveaway for a separate giveaway. Of course, that is a promo code BIB for Underdog Fantasy. Bet and play at your own risk. I do not encourage or endorse any illegal or underage gambling of any sort. This, of course, is the Sauce God on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow all my socials. I have a link tree up on all of them. You can find it. Check me out. All right, so let's move on here. Now, where's Sean Payton going? I really don't know, and I can't get into the speculation. I really can't. So, the Lions had a pretty solid offensive year, right? We all know that. It looks like their OC will be back. Ben Johnson will be returning amid interest elsewhere, I'm sure, for head coaching positions. By the way, here's some really great Bills Mafia updates. Damar Hamlin is at the Bills facility almost daily. It's great to see. I mean, crazy to see, honestly. Miracle kind of stuff, but awesome. Chargers fired their offensive coordinator, Lombardi. Joe Lombardi after their playoff collapse. Figured Brandon Staley would be the first to go, but he's still sticking around. Okay. Let's go into a little off-topic, little story shared on ESPN by Ryan Hawkinsmith and Wayne Getzenberg. He's going to be an NFL superstar. Allen was 17 years old at the time, getting ready for his senior year of Fireball High, attending a camp at his hometown college, Fresno State. Josh, now in his 5th season as the Bills quarterback, famously had zero interest from FBS schools during his high school career. Not very little interest. Zero interest, even from Fresno State. He hoped this camp would change that. That didn't happen. On day 1 of the 2-day camp, Allen was electric as he led Tiny Fireball on a surprising romp to the championship game of a 7-on-7 tournament. The team won its first 2 games, then ran into Bakersfield Christian, alma mater of then Fresno State quarterback Derek Carr. Carr was there that day, and Fireball coach Bill Magnuson asked him to swing by their team tent and set up by Allen's dad, Joel, to keep the players out of a horrific heat that had some of parents' sandals melting to the turf. Carr was a California A-lister at the time. His brother David had been the number 1 pick in the 2002 NFL draft, and now Derek was a star at Fresno, a year of getting drafted from himself. Allen smiled, then went out, single-handedly tore up Bakersfield Christian. Carr saw him on the sideline afterward and said, "Hey, I thought I told you to take it easy on my guys." Allen didn't even blink. He said, "I did take it easy." Fireball eventually lost in the championship, but Allen had created some momentum for himself heading into day 2, or so he thought. Fireball event, when the 25 or so prep quarterbacks showed up the next day, they gathered between Fresno's main practice field and the smaller side field. The Fresno State coaches ran through the list of which quarterbacks would go where. When they got to the end of the list for the primary field, and we'll be right back. Had to tell my cat to chill out. Thanks, Tucker. So anyways, we're moving on here. Everybody else head over there. One coach said Allen was on the everybody else list. He wasn't even on the, like, hey, these are the guys we were expecting to see here, right? His coach, like, begged and pleaded for him to, even have the attention. It's just crazy, right? Because you look back on Josh Allen's career, and this is going to be the final segment here to take us out. Of course, this is the little segment that I'm doing, little series that I'm doing, 20 to 30 minutes podcasting here on the Sauce Network on my Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, right? But Josh Allen's development just shows you never give up. Never allow people's lack of faith in you to determine what your success will be, or what you can strive to achieve, or what you will achieve, right? Don't let people decide what your dreams are. You decide them. You decide what your own success is. You decide what your happiness is. You decide what you're going to do with the choices that you have today. And how do you respond with the decisions that you make? And how do you truly make the best of it no matter what, right? Because, hey, sometimes in life we get dealt one hand. We don't have much of a choice, right? But you have to make the best of it, make it work somehow. No excuses, only solutions. And I fully believe in that. Josh Allen showed you all. No single FBS school offered him a scholarship. Dude is making $250 million quarterbacking for the Buffalo Bills in his 5th year. Currently in the postseason, getting ready to take on the Cincinnati Bengals, of course, in Buffalo in a rematch. Well, not even a rematch, but a match between two teams that were facing off in a Monday Night Football game that concluded in a 7-3 no decision because of the situation with Damar Hamlin. Of course, I am the Buffalo Sauce God. This has been sponsored by Duff's and sponsored by Underdog Fantasy here on my Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you haven't done so already, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like my Instagram, check me out on TikTok as well if you want to check out some freestyle raps. And also, guys, make sure to hit the notifications and turn those on right now so that you don't miss any of my shorts, my reels, or any of my awesome content, including Buffalo Bills coverage and Bills highlights and much more. All right, guys, I want to say to everybody, go Bills. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And as always, God bless. Bolster up.